y'all, it's Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns in beautiful. You cannot find a clear, bluer sky than that. Atlanta, Georgia. Today is January the 24th, 2023. And on today's video, I am going to answer a couple of questions that and give you an explanation about the green guard that I have on the 48-inch Hustler Trim Star. I'm going to pull the mower out, but I want to explain something very fast. And I'm glad somebody actually reached out to me and asked a couple of questions about this, and I told him that I had come up with a solution. So first of all, let me tell you that I love, if you're looking for an electric chute blocker, I don't think there's a better one out there in the market than the green guard. Okay, this is the heavy duty one that I have, not the regular one. The design and the way that it's, especially if you get the one with the magnetic base, is near genius. It's really, really good. The chute blocker, every mower should have a chute blocker on there, and I don't want a manual one. I have had manual ones. I think on a stand-up mower, a manual one is okay if you can route the cable. But the Trim Star is so long that you really need an electric one, and that's the way to go. It's super fast. So if I had another mower, 5-10 mowers, I would put the green guard heavy duty slim chute blockers on every single one of them. I want to make sure everybody understands that, because I'm going to tell you there's a problem with this green guard. Not in its design, it's just in the motor application that's being used. And this is in no way telling you to not buy it. I'm telling you, if you're looking for it, to buy it. It's just an inherent problem with the gear inside of it. So if you guys go back, I may just link the video in the description about, I was getting the flap when it was completely down. The air pressure from the blades, you know, there's some force generated with that, kind of moves the flap out just a little bit, about ½ an inch. It doesn't stay tight against the deck. It moves out about ½ an inch and allows grass to blow up. And especially Bermuda, when it's really dry grass, it blows back up, and it's just, you know, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to be tight against the deck. And the reason is, I'm going to show you. Let me get just bear with me real quick. I'm going to show you the part inside the motor that is the problem. And this part, if you go back and look at my other videos, it's this gear right here. Okay, this gear is the main gear. This attaches to the swing arm that lifts the side up, the flap, and this gear is what the motor rides on. All right, so as you can see how loose this is? Okay, so that when the flap is completely down, there's still a little bit of movement. Well, that little bit of movement causes the flap to be slightly open when the blades are on from the Air Force. This is a bad design. Okay, this gear right here should be a two-piece design. I'm sorry, it is a two-piece design, and it should really be a one-piece design. It would make it more expensive, or it should have a different way to attach the shaft to the actual gear itself. Okay, so now that we know what the problem is, we know what the symptom is, I replaced the gear. I reached out to Jeremiah at Green Guard, and he was very fast in getting me out. There's a spare parts kit that replaces the gear. So within about, and I did a video on how to replace it. It's not hard at all. So within about, I don't know, less than a day, the new part was doing the exact same thing. So I know that it's just a design problem with the way the gear is. This motor, I don't know what it's originally intended to be used for. I think it's to be used on like a manufacturing machine that has a conveyor, like a little small conveyor belt where it's run continuously in one direction. These motors start and stop, bam, 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 and every time it stops and goes against the deck, it will produce a twisting torque on that, and it causes the shaft to become loose on the gear. He does have some little rubber bumpers that he will, I think he ships those out with the kits now, so that it gives a little bit of cushion. But the problem is it still has to stop. All right, and electric motors have an extreme amount of torque, and it's just that torque over and over that causes it to loosen up. So I'm going to show you what I did to fix it. I did something similar on my 54-inch trim star. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull the mower outside and show you how to fix this so it's permanent. Okay, it won't do that, and you won't have to replace the gear. So let me get everything set up, and I'll show you exactly what I did. All right, so by default, I constantly have the chute blocker up. That's its normal position when I'm traveling around, and for the most part, when I'm cutting, obviously it's going to be up most of the time. So here's where I've got my the handle, or I'm sorry, the switch located on a magnetic. It's on a magnetic base, and I've got it marked up and down. So we close. Now, here's what happens. Right now, I have two magnets. All right, let me lift this up. There's a tiny magnet here, and one right here. Okay, and basically those touch the edge of the mower here, and it's just enough force where it keeps this shut all the time. All right, before, what would happen is it would see how this is loose. Okay, that's that gear. It's the gear inside there and the shaft, what I just showed you on the other part. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to turn the blades on. Right now the magnets are not touching. I'm going to turn the blades on, and you watch and see. This thing will hold open like this. See the air pressure pushing it out a little bit? So when you're mulching up leaves or when you're cutting grass, it will shoot some grass up through here. It'll shoot it out the sides and all that. However, I want you to watch when, see that, how it closes? It's tight against there. These magnets right here, I started with just one, and that wasn't enough. What you want is you want enough magnetic force to hold this flap to the mower to overcome the pressure from the air coming out. You don't want too heavy of magnets, because then it's going to strain the motor when it tries to open. But it's just enough force to where the motor has no problem at all bringing it back up. And basically, I'm going to put a link in the description for these magnets. I got them from Amazon. This bolt right here is a 6/32 bolt. I put a 6/32 lock washer, I'm sorry, a lock nut, and 2 washers. I got those at Ace Hardware. All right, so 6/32 is what fits through the magnet that I used. A lock nut and 2 washers. That's it. That's all you need to do. So now it's tight. Now I can open it a little bit by using enough force, but you see how it basically solved the problem. Sometimes you just got to improvise. Now, the manufacturer of that motor, I'm sure, is not going to redesign it. So I'm just trying to keep you guys from being frustrated. I absolutely love this Green Guard chute blocker. I think it's the best one that's on the market. There's no piece of mechanical device that you can get that's perfect. All right, I've had the grass flap, and I like the grass flap. It's not an electric one, it's mechanical, but if you have problems with the grass flap, sometimes it would get a little loose. You could put magnets on there. It also will work on, it doesn't matter whether it's electric or manually operated. If you're having problems with the air from the amount of when the blades are pushing out, making that flap open just a little bit, then do that. The other thing you have to make sure is you have to make sure that this is completely square against the deck. This has the magnetic mount, which I absolutely love. So I got it, basically have it lined up so that it's naturally completely square and it's perpendicular or parallel to the deck. All right, so if it's off camber a little bit, you know, you're gonna need to fix that first. It needs to be straight up and down. So this needs to be perfectly parallel to this. Now you can see, you look at the flap, mine's slightly bent right here. I snagged it on something. But yeah, I can just take a 2x4 and clamp it here and bend it back out a little bit. This is not too hard to bend. But anyway, this works. The way that I have this, it works perfectly fine. And watch it snap. See how it comes completely? That's the best seal you're gonna get. So I'll put a link in the description to the magnets, and you can just go to Ace Hardware. Probably Home Depot will have it. Just get some 6/32 bolts. Maybe not that. I need to get some a little bit shorter ones, like maybe 3/4 of an inch, 2 washers, and a lock nut. And that's all you got to do. Okay, so I know somebody's going to say this, but absolutely, I think this chute blocker, and I've said it, is a wonderful addition to your mower. If I had more mowers, I would have this exact same setup. Magnetic base with the slim. And I also wanted to show you on this. This is the slim model, which means that the can loosen the bolts right here and can move this motor like this. And the reason on this trim star that I have the slim model is because I want this to go more than 90 degrees. All right, so there's no way possible that I'm gonna snag anything if I'm up against a wall or a tree or something like that. If I had the regular model where this motor is pretty much straight up and down, I believe that was about as far as it would raise. So you can see I can still get it snagged. But I would say go with the slim model on pretty much everything, because you are not going to, you're going to be able to easily adjust this so it will be off the plane of the travel path of the mower. And the other thing is, when I raise this all the way down like this, I have this angled enough so that I can still get this pulley cover off. So I have this back as far as it'll go and still allow me to get the pulley cover off. So hopefully that helps you guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, just reach out to me. If I can help you answer them, I definitely will. If you have other ideas for a different video you want to see on the trim star, you guys know I love this trim star, absolutely love it. Just reach out to me, and I'll try to answer and help you out as best I can. With that being said, I will see you guys on the next video. Look at that sky again. Yeah, but it's 35 degrees out right now.